So here we are, game number 1, the grand finals between the youngins, the Young Protoss Hope in the lower right-hand corner, representing Psystorm Gaming. It is, of course, MaxPax, dominating the bottom side of the bracket. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, the Team Liquid Terran, crushing the top side of the bracket. None other than Clem. Matches between these two, they're always so good. They're always so good. I do think last week ended up being a 3-0. Was it for MaxPax? I actually don't remember. I really don't. It's so tough because I feel like these guys play a decent amount, and I feel like I just can't predict who's gonna win at any point. It's crazy that like MaxPax really started getting good and people started knowing who he was at a time when all of our tournaments were online. We had no offline tournaments. So we saw him just winning things and you know, taking high placements in tournaments. And now it really sucks coming off of Yanshiping a couple weeks ago. And then we've got Home Story Cup that just finished yesterday. But MaxPax wasn't at either of those. Those were live events. He does not go to live events. So we have no MaxPax results from those. So we really can't tell where he is like skill-wise other than these weeklies or, you know, some bigger online events that might happen. It sucks. I would love to see MaxPax get to an event. I know I'm not the only person to say that. Everybody would love to see MaxPax get to an event. But just seems like that's not ever going to happen. What is going to happen here is the Reaper's going to sneak into the main base. There is a shield battery to keep these probes nice and alive and safe. Second Reaper was coming across, but I think spotted the Adept and wants to come help defend the Adept. The Adept will get the SCV kill. Will it? Third Reaper coming out here for Clem, and I think this Adept is dead. Oh my god, he gets a Reaper kill though. That's a fourth Reaper? Wow. Okay, this was 2-Rax Reaper. I didn't even realize this was 2-Rax Reaper. It's like something in my brain just shut off. So we have a lot of Reapers coming across the map, continuing to produce. I think there's just one more Reaper on the way. Hellion has popped out now as well. MaxPax did lose that first Adept. Shield battery is not quite done yet. Clem losing that one Reaper is actually really painful. He absolutely just could have pulled that back a little further, but I think he thought it could take one more hit. And it was just low enough to not be able to take one more hit. But now with the shield battery up in both the main mineral line and down in the natural, I think MaxPax should be good as long as he's got good unit movement here. And it turns out Oracle's really, really good against units that don't shoot up. Very strong against them. Push this away. Ooh, what do I see? 2 more gates going down. MaxPax, off the back of a Stargate opener, going to head into 3-gate blink here. Definitely could put some pressure on with that. Seems like Clem's just going into a follow-up, like 3-Rax kind of play. So he's going to have a lot of bio. So it might be MaxPax just trying to pick off some Marines here and there with those Blink Stalkers. As he takes third base. All right, nice macro game going on here. A little bit of a spicy start out of Clem, but ends up being all good. Oracle keeping an eye on things. Now, I don't know if Clem has spotted the Twilight Council. No, he hasn't. So he doesn't necessarily know what MaxPax's follow-up is. He hasn't seen any Phoenixes, and I think by now the Phoenixes would have come over here and killed some of these units. So he knows it's not that. He sees a lot of Stalkers. Okay, so Clem's got to realize what's happening now. He is going to push across. His Stim and Combat Shields are almost done. Blink is not quite finished. So these Stalkers in a little bit more trouble than I think they were expecting to find themselves in, chasing those Reapers and Hellions. As Clem is about to be able to push up this ramp. Blink is now done, though. The shield battery finishing at perfect time. Overcharge turning on as well to keep these Stalkers alive a little bit longer, but the Siege Tank on the low ground doing so much splash damage to these units. And MaxPax down to 4 Stalkers. Clem's at 31 army supply. Crushes through the shield battery, and he's just going to continue on pressuring here. Rallying more units across the map, including another Siege Tank. And this Siege Tank has been holding so strong down here. It only has 2 kills, but it has done so much damage. It's such a good anchor point as well, and I think Clem's going to move the second tank forward a little bit more. Base is starting to take some damage. MaxPax really needs to do something about this, but what can he do? Does he actually have enough to take this down? I don't know that he does. Blinks backwards, but there's no shield battery here. The Oracle going to turn on if the Marines all die. I guess the Oracle can do stuff, but there's not enough health on that Oracle. The base is going to go down. These Marauders going to target it down. Shield battery holding on to it. Is there an overcharge available? There is. There goes MaxPax, going to keep this Nexus alive with that overcharge. I can't believe this base is going to live for now. Shield's trying to heal back up. There are still 2 tanks here. This Oracle's bound to run out of energy pretty soon. Yeah, and there it goes. Okay, the Marauders hitting this Nexus again. The shield battery's out of juice. There's no overcharge, but charge is done. And with that, the Marauders and tanks aren't going to be enough here. The Stalker's getting gunned down by the tanks. So great scan and target fire from Clem to take those Stalkers down, allowing the Bio to kill those Zealots. Pretty sure those tanks just targeted down his own Marauder there. Oh my god, is Clem actually going to get this base? He wants it. He wants it so bad. But I don't think he's going to get it as the Zealots and Stalkers clean the rest of this up. The tanks, the Bio all going down. Oh my god. Now MaxPax has like no army supply behind this, but yeah, he's got a fresh warp and he has so much money coming in. The 3rd base living. God, it got so close. Nice little lift up there. Clem's got a 3rd base back at home. It's almost done, but he's down a lot of workers. He's trying to get back up into some sort of economy. He should have enough to hold on here against the Blink Stalkers, but of course the Blink Stalkers can just kind of poke and prod. There you go. Pick off 2 Marauders and blink away. Does lose a Stalker for it, but I think well worth it for MaxPax, who's taking a 4th off the back of this pressure being eased off of him. Wow. I can't believe MaxPax held that. That was so close. Getting that charge out. The Zealots really make a huge difference in that fight. He lost almost every single one of his Stalkers. This Oracle, too, at 9 kills. Just MaxPax taking every tool he has, and he squeezes the most value out of them. It's honestly incredible. Like, the amount of value he gets out of every single one of his units is just insane. The fact that this Oracle is still alive, still getting tagged, it just forced a huge stim. Not that big of a deal, but it's just little bits of value. All of these little things that MaxPax is able to squeeze value out of. It's just wild. All right, and as I'm talking about that, he just runs over the units he kind of knew were there and dies. All right. Oh, it didn't quite work. Ooh, the Widow Mine's getting great shots here, delaying those Zealots a little bit, allowing what will probably be a defense, but we have more Zealots heading in over here. All of this pulling Clem back home. And getting some SCV kills as well. All right, this worked out excellently for MaxPax. It's still going on, too. God, Zealots are so tanky. Of course, supply depot not going to happen. In the meantime, Stalkers and Zealots hitting over on the third base, and more Zealots running through that dying depot. Oh my god. Clem is getting torn apart here, losing SCVs like crazy, and MaxPax is getting into Colossi behind this. Widowmine's getting some good hits, but that's not really what matters. Like, what matters is the 11 dead SCVs, the lack of mining in the natural for so long. MaxPax is throwing away some units here. The trades actually favoring Clem. But are they favoring Clem enough to make up for the fact that MaxPax has been mining more this whole game? That's the real question. And as we look at the army supplies, Clem is ahead a little bit, but it is very close. He's down a lot of workers, though, and I don't think he has a 4th CC anywhere. And a 4th CC going to be crucial if he wants to stay in this game, unless he just wants 3 base all in. But MaxPax is taking a 5th. It's actually almost done. God, he just expands so quickly. It's almost reckless. With reckless abandon, he expands. And the Colossi are going to come in here. There's no real answer for them. Nice blink away from the Widow Mine. Armory not done yet, so these Widow Mines are very visible at the moment. Clem trying to be annoying with the pressure here. Some nice force fields. Super shield battery turns on, but a lot of Stalkers just went down. That was a ton of Stalkers that just died in like 3 seconds. Clem continuing to try to push and pressure. He's got these Widow Mines to fall back on in case MaxPax decides to push a little too far out of his base. Looks like he's going to try to go for a little Widow Mine drop up at this 5th base. Cannon going down, but Zealots and Probes going down as well. MaxPax decides to push forward, and Clem maybe feels for a second like he doesn't want to take this fight. EMPs the crap out of this army and then just stims and runs backwards. Stalkers moving forward, a few of them going down. Looks like some Zealots might have gotten in once again. 6 more SCVs dying during all of that. Clem down a lot of workers, nearly 30 workers down. He's still up in army supply. And he's about to have 1-1. MaxPax has +2 attack though, so upgrades are pretty much even. Zealots trying to come in, they will die. Widow Mine drop. I think it died. There was a Widow Mine drop. I think it's gone. Double disruptor production now out of MaxPax. And those disruptors coming out is going to be very difficult for Clem to deal with. Clem just still hasn't built any workers. He finally has a 4th command center nearly done, but he's going to kill a few probes. It just doesn't feel that impactful here. He's going to try to run up this ramp for Colossi here, though. I don't think that's going to happen. Widow Mines do get a disruptor kill, so that's at least something nice here for Clem. Picks off a disruptor. He's also got great vision of this army because of those Widow Mines still being there. Oh my god, the Colossi just mincing this army, though. 6 more probes go down, but SCV is going down, and Clem just taps out. He just doesn't have the economy to support the army he would need there. And MaxPax ends up taking... Oh, I'm just clicking buttons by accident here. Was that game 1? It was game 1, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was game 1. Okay. For some reason, I was like, what's the score right now? 0-0. MaxPax takes game 1. All right. We got there. I like nice Twitch chatters. Nice Twitch chatters are nice. All right. We are ready for game 2. Hopping into Ancient Cistern. This big old green map. Alrighty. Let's see if he can keep the momentum going. If he's going to be able to, I don't know, put himself on match point in this one. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner. It is our blue Protoss for Psystorm Gaming. MaxPax. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, the red Terran for Team Liquid. It's Clem. I was like, why is there an eBay going down? Just looked at the production tab, got a little confused. Makes sense now, though. Clem again trying to go for this block. Or actually, it was Spirit that went for this block earlier today. Clem trying it out, but MaxPax with the low ground expand, the nice thing for him is he can spot this immediately, right? A lot of the advantage of the NG Bay is you can get it almost fully done and then just leave it. And the probes are so late to get pulled. It has so much more health. It's a brutal thing for the Protoss. But here, I think MaxPax is fine with this. Pulls those probes immediately. Should be able to take this Nexus without too much concern. And it costs money for both of them. MaxPax's probe going to run away now. It looks like it took some damage. Trying to be annoying over here. We got a nice chill opener in game number 2. A lot of our games today were kind of aggressive. I mean, Clem played pretty aggressive last game. This is kind of interesting, though. Double Hellion production. You know what I haven't seen in a long time that would be fun to see is a Hellion drop. Hellion drops used to be so much fun. I used to do that in TVP. Every time I played this matchup, I'd open with a Hellion drop. Just because I feel like Protoss players were really not used to it. It was fun. It was a fun opener. I don't think it really worked very often for me, but it kind of makes me want to play Terran again now, thinking about it. Oh, this is a nice catch for MaxPax. Gonna be able to grab one of these Hellions. So I'm gonna try to hold this ramp against the Adepts, and as 2 more Hellions pop out, the Adepts not going to be long for this world. One of them is going to try to shade in. It looks like it will finish that shade. Going to grab a couple of SCVs. Great target fire there by MaxPax. Gets a couple SCVs. Sees everything that's going on, including, I think, the swap of these buildings. I don't know if you guys knew, but you can actually swap buildings onto other add-ons, like this reactor. So I imagine that's what's going to happen here with this barracks swapping onto the tech lab the factory is building. I learned that courtesy of Baby Marine at this last Home Story Cup, being kind enough to teach us that. The Oracle can chase these Hellions away. Zap, zap, zip, zap, zip, zap, zap is what that Oracle does. And then Blink on the way behind this. So MaxPax just building the single Oracle, it looks like. It's a couple of kills. Couple of kills here, couple of kills there. So far, good trades for MaxPax. Lost those 2 adepts, but he's gotten some big values so far. Behind us, Clem going for a heavy bioproduction, getting some medevacs out, all of which is going to get scouted by MaxPax, who's taking a third. Clem might have a nice big push in a little while, but it's going to be a bit, I think, before we can actually put too much pressure on. He's going to have some medevacs out, though, so he might go for a bit of a double drop here. Looks like he's going to go for a little push. The Oracle's going to spot it. Hellion, in the meantime, trying to get some damage done, does finally go down. Looks like it got a probe, though. The only probe killed this game. Marine's going to stim forward and try to push this Oracle away. MaxPax sneaks it out of there, but delayed or stopped this little push from happening from Clem. No third CC here for Clem, so it feels like he's got to go do something. But he's just going to lose a couple Marines here for nothing. Link is done. Stalkers move forward, get a few units, pull back. Oh! Sorry, that was really loud. I just was shocked those Marines got the kill. I thought the shield battery was going to heal up that Stalker, but it didn't quite get there in time. Big stim here from Clem. He's trying to push through. He's catching these Stalkers as they've already blunked back. So a few Stalkers do go down, but Clem doesn't have a ton of units left down here. And he still has no third CC. It looks like he's going to put one down on location here in a moment. It feels like he needs to get some damage done. Charge is on the way, +1 is on the way from MaxPax. They're pretty far away, though. Same for the +1 of Clem. Looks like we're going to have some more engagements before that happens. Another Stalker goes down, and a second one. And the shield battery is out of juice, so we're going to need to see an overcharge from MaxPax if he wants to use that. Zealots have warped in, but, yeah, I mean, Charge still has like 30 seconds left on it, I think. That feels like a long time. Nice tag on the Widowmine. Should be able to pick that off. No fourth base here. Oh, the Zealots stopping this third base from coming up, at least delaying it. Trying to target it down, actually, maybe try to force a cancel, but that is not going to happen. So many Zealots here from MaxPax. And Charge. It's close. It's close. Clem's not going to be able to take advantage of the lack of charge, though, as it's about to finish up in 10 seconds now. That's 10 faster seconds, too, so they're quick. Quick 10 seconds. And there's that fourth base on the way now for MaxPax, right as Clem's third is, I was going to say almost done, but it's really not that close to being done. It looks like the Oracle came in and got the kill. And Clem's in a bit of a precarious position here. He's got a lot of army. Oh, but he's just caught between a rock and a hard place. And his economy is not great behind this. He's going to trim off a lot of these Zealots, though. He's ahead quite a bit of army supply now. MaxPax trying to warp more stuff in, but he's forced to cancel this base, and that is exactly the kind of damage Clem needed. He's killing probes now as well, some of these long-distance mining probes. Cancel on that base, kills a couple of pylons. And now Clem, I think he's got to be feeling good about his position, just trying to micro against the Zealots, though Widowmine's getting huge hits as he stutter steps backwards, and now it's just the Stalkers again. Immortal being chrono boosted out. No, he changes it to a Colossus. That takes so long to get here, which is why he was going to build that Immortal. Shield battery gets taken down. Suddenly Clem is in the natural. Clem is diving into the main. More Zealots have been warped in, but they're going up the choke point. That's not where they want to be going. The Stalkers might be able to clean this up. This is so painful for MaxPax, though, as Clem takes the 30 supply lead. He's now mining more as well. 50. Oh, no, I had it backwards. Never mind. It's very similar, but Clem's base has been lifted. It's not an orbital. There's still Zealots here. Clem needs to get this secure. He finally kills that Oracle so he doesn't have to deal with it anymore. But now there's a Warp Prism heading into the main base. Oh, this Widowmine. almost gets the shot off. Looks like the Zealot is gonna not quite tank that, but force it to go off. There's a few units here with the Widowmine, or the yeah, the Widowmine gets a nice shot off. Doesn't hit the Prism though, and the Prism's gonna be able to sneak on out. MaxPax trying to take a new 4th base. Clem's 3rd is finally saturated. He is up 30 army supply right now, and he's finally mining more than MaxPax, at least for the time being. He is actually up in worker supply now. But MaxPax has also been able to get into Colossi. He does not have Thermal Lance. He just does not have it on the way, and I feel like that's a bit of a misstep here for MaxPax. That Thermal Lance is so important. We've already seen a number of Colossi gunned down by Marauders today in these TVPs. And when Colossi don't have Thermal Lance, the Marauders can just do it that much easier. Look at how close these Colossi have to stand to shoot. They just have very little micro potentiality here. Clem also has that nice +1 armor, but it is +2 attack here for MaxPax. A 3rd Colossus pops. That might be a little too much for this Bio Army to push through, especially with these charge lots out front. See the lift up into the Medivacs and the pull away here by Clem. Just trying to get out of dodge. Join up with a few more units. Good pickoffs from MaxPax on the backside. The army supply is still in Clem's favor, but only by a little bit here. Whew, that Widowmine actually did some friendly fire. I had some units die from that. At the same time, Zealots getting into this base. 4 SCVs going down. A landed Viking trying to help out. A couple Marines do get into that bunker. Clem holds on back at home, but he is forced to pull all the way back, taking the pressure off of MaxPax and allowing this 4th base to just live free and clear for now. Zealot run by going to try to hit the right side. Clem does have a 4th CC on the way. MaxPax's economy is not great. That's nice, though. Nice little pick off there from MaxiPaxi. You'd expect him to be up at like 80 workers by now, but he is just kind of chilling at 61. Not building a ton of probes, worried more about the minerals than the gas. Zealots try to run in, but a great EMP going to stop that from happening. At least for now. Widowmine's not getting the best connections they were ever hoping for. Clem tried to stop that from happening, but it looks like the Zealots will get cleaned up anyways. MaxPax wants to push with this army, but Clem is still just right here. Oh, Clem's going to try to take the forward base. Okay, MaxPax actually in a great position to stop that from happening. Vikings coming out there. There are 4 Colossi here, so the Vikings are crucial, as are EMPs. Wow, that Viking just trimmed off all of that Colossus' shield in one volley. I did not realize the Vikings were numerous enough to do that. More Zealots trying to get in here. Vikings landing to help deal with them, and they will deal with them as Clem gets this 4th base seated. Vikings again doing a great job taking down an observer as well. These disruptors though. Ooh, Clem trying to dive forward, wants to get on top of one of these Colossi. At least he gets one. Gets a few Stalkers as well, and that's going to give him time to morph this into a planetary before MaxPax is able to put more pressure on. MaxPax does have a 5th on the way down on the bottom side here. That earlier 4th location is now the 5th location. 2-2 is nearly done for Clem, and that's going to give him a bit of a boost. Because MaxPax has not kept the upgrades going. He's on +2 and +1 armor. But he's going to be down he's going to be down 1 upgrade in a second. Nice link forward, gets the Medivac. Disruptor Nova going to zone away, so the Stalkers mostly live. Yeah, Vikings get another Colossus, though. The Viking count pretty high up here. Still 9 of them in the sky. And Liberator's starting to come out now as well. I feel like Clem's starting to feel kind of comfortable here. He's on 4 bases. Yeah, MaxPax is on 5, but he doesn't have any more workers. 70 to 71, so pretty similar in that regard. One of the Colossus goes down. Just 1 Colossus left. That's it. Other than that, it's Disruptors, and I think there's only 1 Robo, so it's just single Disruptor production here. 2nd Robo going down as I say it. MaxPax sending some workers over to that new 5th. Marauder's pretty happy with this because guess what? Disruptors can't shoot over cliffs. It's actually a big weakness I feel like we don't see taken advantage of a ton in these games, but that was a nice little move by Clem. Make those disruptors not particularly useful. Whew. That was a dicey one. Clem moving a little bit too far forward there. Disruptor Novas continuing to come out. There's not a ton of them, but there's enough to be annoying for Clem. Clem, though, is up 45 supply right now. It's at 190. He's nearly maxed on the same worker count as his opponent with better upgrades. 3-3 is on the way for him. And it feels like Clem is starting to run away with this. He's got another army to the bottom side. He's going to head in towards the 6th that's just started, or maybe towards the 5th. Either way, there's literally nothing there for MaxPax right now. MaxPax has been so focused on defending, he hasn't had any time for Zealot run-bys or anything. As I say that, he is sending some Zealots down. I don't know if he spotted this or if he's just got the same idea to go for a run-by. That 6th base is not happening, at least not right now. MaxPax is kind of pinned back up here. Clem's got a 5th base up and running. So his economy is just soaring right now. He is cruising on top of those mountains. MaxPax is in the valleys at the moment. Looks like the Zealots are pushing that army away towards the bottom side while the Disruptors push this army away. I think Clem's happy just stopping that 6th base from coming up. He's going to run back, join up with some friends. Whew, Wintermines are pretty good. So are Disruptors. There are a lot of Disruptors here. This is why the Liberators are so important. We see 4 of them being made at a time, as well as Liberator range coming out for Clem. These Disruptors, man, are crazy. Oh, big Zealot Stalker run by, trying to hit down here. Liberator going to siege up, but that's not going to be enough because there are Stalkers with this as well. These Liberators actually going to get taken out here. There's a decent amount of bio nearby, though, so Clem going to be able to hold on while he pulls back to his planetary on the other side. Oh, needs to be careful. You don't want to just be chilling by the Disruptors. He's going to try to jump on them. Doesn't quite get the kill shots, though, and he is eating some shots of his own. Yeah, most of this gets cleaned up and pushed away as the Stalkers are running out. I feel like the Liberators need to come over here and try to deal with these Disruptors. Finally, Disruptor Nova going down, or Disruptor going down as the Novas continue to connect pretty decently, honestly. I feel like you usually expect Clem to take less damage than this to the Novas. Scan goes down to see that this base, he sees this base doesn't exist, and this one is back up. But the mining here is still very, very similar between the two. No real economic advantage to speak of. Now the Liberators are coming out, and he could absolutely get a siege up on this ramp. They do have lib range, so I feel like sieging up from far away is the way to go. Continuing to push in. Clem needs to get some pressure on here. Start taking some good trades. You see double Colossus production once again coming out of MaxPax, getting into those long-range units again. Disruptor Novas are pretty much constant here. He has so many Disruptors. Oh, more Liberators showing up. That's a lot of Liberation Zone. That's a lot of freedom. Super Shield Battery turns on, but at this stage of the game with 3-3 and all these Liberators, it's not really enough to do too much here. Oh my god, that Disruptor Nova could have gotten the biggest hit of all time. That one gets a juicy hit. Clem needs to be very careful here. So does MaxPax, and it looks like MaxPax is going to pull away the probes from this base, just dealing with the loss here as he tries to shift down around. There's a nice Liberation Zone down here. The Liberators all try to move to support this side, and they will force MaxPax back up. Clem also hitting on the bottom side, trying to snipe some of these Zellies. Planetary staying alive for now. Big blink forward there, but the Liberation Zone is going to scare MaxPax away. The Planetary stays up. The sensor tower will die. We see a recall down to the bottom side here to save this base. Clem's still quite a bit up in army supply. But MaxPax has been fighting with that deficit this whole time, and he's still been looking pretty damn strong. And it feels like Clem kind of needs a 6th base, as MaxPax is desperately trying to take that 7th. Clem's desperately trying to take this base. He saw that recall, so now he's rotated the majority of his army around to try to deal with this. And MaxPax just trying to avoid these liberation zones. His army's a bit more mobile because he doesn't have to siege up everywhere. He's just already sieged all the time. Speaking of sieging up, though, Clem putting the pressure on this army to get something done, and MaxPax just trying to run away, but he's losing so much on the retreat. The Disruptor's going down, and GG as Clem takes game number 2 and ties us up at 1-1 in the grand finals. We were a little worried that it might be a 3-0 again like last week, but no. But no, we're tied up. These guys really making the other player work for it. Oh, it's the water. Pretty good. Pretty good. I think I'm gonna grab an energy drink though. I think we're at that time. I'm feeling a little bit tired as we load in to game 2 here. I'll go ahead and send us in, or game 3 rather, while I grab this drink. Thank you for bearing with me. Came back at the perfect time. Didn't miss anything. All right. Make the score correct here. It's 1-1. It's a best of 5. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Babylon. We've got the blue Protoss for Storm Gaming. MaxPax. Call him the strongest Protoss player in the world. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, once upon a time, I think, vying for that best Terran in the world title, but generally, I think not quite looking at it right now. Maybe number 2 Terran EU. I think Hero Marine usually gets that one. Maybe number 3 at times, depending on how you rate Spirit. But I don't know, man. He can still crush just about anybody at any time. For Team Liquid, it's Clem. That last game, I think, was a great example of Clem's strengths, hitting in multiple locations, microing pretty excellently throughout. But it is tough. I mean, MaxPax is so insanely good. I don't think MaxPax does quite as well at the multi-prong kind of play that Clem is so well known for. See, Clem is an incredibly fast player, so he can have multiple control groups, multiple armies, and I mean, it's pretty incredible what he was able to get done that last game. Especially as the game got later, it's not just like he had 2 bioforces. There were ghosts in there. He had to split against disruptors. He had liberators. You know, there was a lot going on, and he was getting like snipes on one side and EMPs on the other and sieging up the liberators, and it was kind of insane. And that's the kind of stuff that I think Clem really excels at. Whereas for MaxPax, I feel like a lot of MaxPax's advantage comes in focusing on one set of units, but also his macro is usually flawless behind it. He's got a new base coming up. We saw Clem scanning for bases in that last one, just kind of expecting, I think, MaxPax to always have one extra base because he just expands so aggressively sometimes. Like, it feels like it puts so much pressure on his opponent because he's expanding again. And yeah, it really does. It really did put pressure on Clem to get something done. Because MaxPax always had another base going on. And I think that's something MaxPax really excels at, is finding a way to put pressure on your opponent and put your opponent in an uncomfortable situation. That's one of my favorite things that MaxPax is able to do, is put his opponents in uncomfortable situations that they didn't really want to be in, you know? Whether it's through putting the pressure on, expanding, harassing. There's a lot of different ways he can do it. Clem's trying to push out. He's got a couple of Reapers with this as well that can chase these units. And that's going to make it really tough to get away. It looks like one of those Adepts will go down. MaxPax running away with the other one. I think he wants to get a full wall up, and he absolutely will get that full wall up. Adept shades in as well. Oh my, this is a spicy game. Wow. It's like, where are MaxPax's units? Why does he not have anything? It's because he's building a Dark Shrine. Now with the Stalker Warp in here, he's forced to cancel, but I feel like the Stalker should be enough to help ward these away. Oh my god, this Hellion on like 1 hit point right now. 7 hit points, excuse me. Gets a couple of probe kills. The Reaper gets another one. The Marines get yet another one. That's 5 kills. As well as those Adepts going down. This is a really nice opening for Clem. He did technically lose more. I think killing 5 probes is well worth it. What he did spot was the Prism. What he didn't spot was the tech building of the units that it's going to warp in. It'll be DTs. He does not have the scan in the main. He does have one in the natural, and he's building a turret. Clem's smart. He knows. DTs are actually one of the things that got MaxPax like started winning games. I feel like DTs were an early MaxPax strategy. No turret in the main just yet. It's almost done. There should be a scan available unless a mule dropped recently. It looks like a mule might have dropped recently. Oh, there's the scan. Forces the pickup. MaxPax does get out of there, allows the turret to finish. Ooh, he's got to be so careful with this Prism. There's no units on the low ground, though. Oh, I lied. Okay, now the DTs are making sure there's not very many units on the low ground. Ooh, good surround. Actually, I'm pretty sure those SCVs just caused that DT to die. Now, 5 SCVs have gone down, but I think Clem should overall be pretty happy with this hold. He doesn't have a 3rd command center, though, and that's a bit of a problem as MaxPax's 3rd is nearly done. But will Clem have enough to push across the map? He's ahead a lot of army supply. There are going to be Archons out now. Oh, siege tank. Yeah, Archon drop is nice, but Clem's got to, or MaxPax got to get out of there. Archons are going to be a little bit tough for Clem to deal with. But look at that army supply, man. 31 to 20 right now. These are blinkless Stalkers. Charge is about to finish for these Zealots, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult for Clem. We could also see, I'd love to see a sneaky DT try to hit these guys. But I imagine Clem's got 1 or 2 scans saved. Actually, as I say, he's got no scans saved. That's why I'd like to see the DT sneak out there, you know? Are we going to see DT blink this game? God, I hope so. It's really good late game against Terran. MaxPax, I don't think quite had the money to get it last game. Usually it's one of those things that like, okay, I'm max. I'm getting my upgrades. What else do I want? What tech do I want that I don't have? Dark Shrine, DT blink. We didn't really get there last game. MaxPax was fighting for his life the entire game, so you can't really afford to spend a bunch of money on that when you're fighting for your life. There's a Colossus coming out now. Now, Colossi with Archons out front are... Oh, those are powerful. Those are powerful. I love this Zealot run by. There's nothing in this bunker right now. I might be in some trouble. He's pushing the Prism away, but now this bunker is having some issues. And at the same time, the Charge Lot's jumping on top of this Bio Army. Tanks getting hit, but they will kill the Colossus. All the tanks going down, though. It looks like Clem's getting routed. And behind this, the Zealots being very annoying on the other side of the map. It looks like they're going to get cleaned up, though, and I don't see any SCVs popping up on the side. I don't think any more SCVs died here, actually. Clem's going to dive into the main base. He's going to stop +1. That's a great kill on the Forge. Does he have time to get anything else? He's going to grab a pylon, and he's going to pick up and get out of there. That pylon wasn't powering anything. That wasn't the Tasteless or the Artosis pylon. That was actually the Wolf pylon, funnily enough. A very versatile pylon, that Wolf pylon. So Clem able to get some damage done to make up for the fact that MaxPax was pretty far ahead. Clem, he's got the third base done, but he just doesn't have a ton of SCVs. 49 to 65 right now. MaxPax is definitely feeling comfortably, in terms of comfortably economically ahead. How about that? Sometimes the words don't quite come out in the tense that I wanted them to come out in. Words are hard, in fact. MaxPax has a couple more Colossi done. They do have Thermal Lance now, so they got that big range. The tanks all died, and I doubt we'll see them replaced. Usually you don't really build a lot of tanks in TVP, except in the early game. Clem did stop that +1. That's a big deal. Ooh, what happened over here? How did 10 probes die? Where did 10 probes die? In the main, I guess. Jesus. I completely missed that. Must have been a Widowmine drop. Something of that nature. 10 probes going down. Suddenly, Clem is ahead economically. Stutter stepping against these units. He's got +1 to the 0 upgrades of MaxPax. And MaxPax is pushing really hard for some reason while he's trying to take this 4th base. Archon going to go down. That's a very expensive loss for MaxPax. Clem, though, not feeling super confident in taking this fight. Pulling all the way back, eating a lot of damage on these SCVs. Pushing forward now, but as more Zealots come in, I don't think he's going to have enough to deal with it. Ooh, Zealots on the backside as well. And MaxPax is feeling confident. He's pushing forward. He's stopping this 3rd base from mining. He might actually kill the 3rd base, although he's only got like 2 Stalkers, so he's not going to do it, but it's not going to matter. Clem is forced to tap out. And for a second there, I actually thought Clem was like way ahead, but it was just for a second. And then MaxPax just took an excellent fight. And sometimes that's all it takes, one good fight. And it starts to turn around. And MaxPax, I mentioned earlier something MaxPax is good at, which is essentially getting like good momentum going. But he's also really good at pushing an advantage like that. And sometimes pushing the advantage means taking another base and getting economically or technologically ahead. But sometimes pushing the advantage means just continuing the attack, warping in a bunch of Zealots. The Zealots that came from the backside were so good. So good. All right. Game 4. We're on match point for one of our players. This has been as good of a series as you'd really expect from these two. Let's hop in. Match point for this man. I say man. Pretty sure he's like 17. Is he even 17? I'm just kind of guessing. Sometimes I just raise the age because I feel like it's been a year since I looked it up. In the upper left-hand corner for Size Room Gaming, it is, of course, MaxPax. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner, famous for the mlems, it is, of course, Clems. Clement. These have been close games. These have been close games. I feel like MaxPax has taken some unexpectedly good fights where it looks like, Clem's got something here, but and then the fight ends up going MaxPax's way. Both players have just such insanely good control. And occasionally, you know, everybody missteps occasionally. Even Maru missteps occasionally with the micro. These guys have such good control, some of the best control in the world. And part of that too is forcing mistakes from your opponent. And if you don't allow yourself to get forced into mistakes, I mean, that can be all it takes to win a fight. It's also felt like Clem's been fighting from behind in most of these games. And in game 2, he was able to fight from behind and put himself in the lead, right? But he was behind in that game too. So far, every game, it feels like he's fighting from being behind economically, being behind in terms of the army, and he's just trying to work his way in. And MaxPax has done a great job at stopping that. And obviously, game 2, Clem was able to finally get himself in there a little bit and make it a nice even game. And from there, it was just insane back and forth, intense fighting. But I actually feel like if they're on even footing, I favor Clem. But that's a big if. And it goes back to the thing that MaxPax is so good at, which is making sure you're not at even footing. Finding those little advantages in the early game. Working them. Pressing them in deeper until MaxPax ends up ahead without really much happening, it seems like. This kind of stuff is so annoying. Now, granted, Clem was able to get a probe kill on the other side of the map, so this didn't go quite as well as MaxPax was hoping for. And now Clem, nice and safe and secure back at home. They just kind of traded a little bit, but ends up better for Clem. But that's the kind of stuff that, like, MaxPax will take those weird early game advantages from, that he ends up just making sure he's ahead the whole game. And yeah, maybe if they're dead even, I do favor Clem. But MaxPax is so good at making sure that doesn't happen. Game 2 was so far the only time where they've been dead even. That was the one Clem won. Reaper finally gets taken down by the Adepts double teaming him. Lucky. MaxPax throws down 2 more gates. I don't think that Reaper spotted the 2 more gates. Well, it looks like it spotted 1 more gate. This is dangerous for Clem. Clem needs to be very aware of what's coming. 4-gate blink is a very difficult strategy to stop, even if you know it's coming, especially from MaxPax, who is arguably the best 4-gate blink player in the world. I think Hero's very good at it, but I don't think it's Hero's like biggest strength. Whereas I feel like when MaxPax does it, I have a tough time seeing people beat it. So we'll see how it goes here for Clem as that Prism is on the way. Now Clem has 3 cheeky little boys in a medevac over here. These Hellions want to get in, they want to deal some damage. Now MaxPax seems a little bit ready for this, but I don't know, could make a big difference. Could make a big difference. Yeah, Clem definitely doesn't know that this is coming. He's got some idea of something though. Oh, he's gonna dive in now. There's a couple of stalkers here, but the probe's still gonna fall. 6 probes going down already. Would have lift up into the medevac, try to get down to the low ground here. Should be able to get a couple more kills. Yeah, wow, 10. The stalkers are coming though. Looks like that front bunker died. Still a bunch of Marines here. Second tank trying to come down, but the first tank needs to unsiege to get it down. Oh no, this is dangerous for Clem. He's got to resiege these tanks. MaxPax is forced to blink back. MaxPax lost 10 workers on the other side of the map. The medevac is now trying to come home. Second tank trying to move down. We need some more SCVs on repair of this base. It looks like it will stay alive for now. Oh my god, MaxPax is... He's focusing on it a lot, but that's a lot of damage. Not on these units. This is really good for Clem. Ooh, some stalkers in the main base, though. This tank will siege up. Marines heading up there. 4 Marines in this bunker left on the low ground. MaxPax actually can't lift all these units up. He's warping in more in the main. But I think Clem's pretty well buttoned up both in the main and natural. This is a lot of stalkers down here still, though. Oh, he's going to blink forward on the siege tank. The SCVs come off to fight. A lot of those stalkers die. At the same time, MaxPax fighting over here. It looks like he got the siege tank. But with the Marauders and Marines coming out here, I think they'll push him away. An auto turret drops as well. Oh, man. And Clem, he seems to be holding on. He's lost a few workers. But remember, MaxPax lost a bunch right at the start of this. He kills another siege tank, though. These Marines doing their best to hold on here. There's no stim or anything right now. MaxPax is just trying to break through. Clem is just focused on defending, but he left nothing in the main base to defend. He drops a mule. It's just the siege tank down here. The tank gets another kill and forces these stalkers away. The Marines up here trying to force these stalkers away. Tank is about to pop. That tank is so crucial. It looked like Clem was holding, but MaxPax is really doing a good job of this here. 18 SCVs go down. The worker count ends up dead even. A scan to see, in fact, there is no third base. That's going to make Clem very happy because that means he's still in this game. I think he would have left if there was a third base, like, done there. He just leaves. But he knows now. Economically, this is very, very close. Big blink on the tank, though. Stim is on the way, but it's so far away from being done. There's no stalkers in the main to worry about anymore. Clem just needs to worry about these stalkers on the low ground. MaxPax trying to blink them away. Is getting the weak ones out of there. He's lost a lot of stalkers, though. 16 stalkers have already died this game. Clem, oh, he's forced to pull the boys again to help defend here. Low worker count. In the meantime, MaxPax has been warping in the main. It looks like he's going to blink up here and join with his stalkers in the main. There is a siege tank up here, but it is all alone. Just a couple of Marauders with it. It gets a couple of nice shots off, and a couple of stalkers will go down, but Stim is canceled, denied. And this is looking very good for MaxPax. I thought Clem had the defense, but MaxPax, he knows the strat. You don't just stop when it looks good for your opponent. You keep on pressing. You keep on pushing. You try to find those advantages. I think MaxPax might have learned that from Hero. When your all-in fails, you just all-in again. And there's the scan. He sees that third base on the way. And this time, Clem does tap out. And that was game 4. MaxPax was on match point. And that means MaxPax wins the series 3-1 over Clem. A very hard-fought series. But at the end, busting in with those blink stalkers, showing us that, yeah, his 4-gate blink is some of the strongest in the world. Clem just doesn't seem to be able to handle it. It's actually insane. GG, man. What a game. What a series. What a day of StarCraft so far. That was part 1.